Hey guys, in this video, I want to prove to some of you why God actually exists. Tell you, some people just don't believe in God because one, they can't see him, and two, they just pretty much think you just have to be delusional to think of God sometimes. But I tell you, how can pretty much anything just be formed? There's gotta be a being out there who actually made everything with his creativity, because darkness cannot withdraw the light. But pretty much one of the things I also wanna tell you is this is how I can prove to you that he exists. One, look at the whole universe. You remember those scientists who pretty much say the Big Bang? Yes, I even believe in the Big Bang too. But there is a deeper meaning about it. There is a reason why pretty much it exists. One thing you can think of it beyond is God himself. Think of pretty much a seed planted, ready to pretty much pretty much explode. I think it's something planted and ready to explode and pretty much start spreading around what we see as the universe. And here's another thing. You can think of the universe as if you try to blow your bubbles, the time inside the bubble is different from outside. And if you think about it, we are inside the bubble. And outside is God's time. And think of looking inside the bubble. Think of you basically if you were in God's perspective. Think about blowing the bubble and forming everything in your own creativity and love. You can form anything with your own power, and you even decide to create all these celestial objects, even all these different stars, like even pretty much create life itself inside the bubble. So, telling you the Big Bang Theory is you're a scientist. I'm telling you pretty much thinking beyond this had to be a celestial being, which it is. Another thing to prove to you that God also exists is where the light come from. There, and we know light is energy. Now imagine a spiritual being with just infinite energy. I'm talking about has no limits on his own power. Just no limits. And a being that mainly just focuses on good because he is. He focuses on good and he also loves the good. And he hates what is the opposite of him because of the destructive nature. He hates evil because of its destructive nature. Think of like bad or like think of evil as like pretty much nothingness or like the opposite of light. And remember, light and darkness cannot intertwine with each other. Like this is why pretty much pride and humble cannot intertwine. You cannot be prideful and you cannot be humble at the same time. And also, humbleness, which some people love to call weak, like without being proud of yourself. God is completely independent. He does not rely on anyone to help him. He created us with his own love. The desires are wanted to create your own beloved in your own image. That is God for you. And another thing to prove to you that God also exists is just one look at us. Some people like to go like into like pretty much say, "Oh, I came from my mother's womb." If you look in the Bible, it will also explain that formed you in your mother's womb. But where did your soul come from? You cannot make your own soul by yourself. You cannot be like pretty much created from your own self. there has to be a celestial spiritual being who knows you before and sees you way ahead of you without you like thinking about it. And think about it. If you cannot create yourself, then who created you? You cannot be formed from nothingness. There is someone who created you with their own power out of love. Cause here's one thing. The mother and daddy could have like tried to like pretty much like make the baby, and pretty much things didn't go right. And you try harder and harder to try to form the baby, and still nothing. Then pretty much later on you decide to try again another time, and then it was planned it at the right time. Perfect timing, everything. So if you look at the patterns, maybe in that moment, God could be saying, you're not ready for a baby yet. Get your own life together before you form a baby. Then I will plant it at the right time. Because I'm telling you, God will look at your life first before he like pretty much like tries to like pretty much form the baby inside of the mother. And another thing is also pretty much you also put the effort in there too. So pretty much just remember pretty much when you put effort, you're also using energy and forming the baby. So everything still takes energy. So another thing to prove to you, God does this. It's also look at all the plants. Look at the earth. Look at all the planets. And you just think beyond. We got to not be the only ones in this universe. There's got to be other lives out there. Imagine a spiritual being who can see everything. Think of the lens of him. What if like you was like pretty much like sitting like pretty much outside of a bubble, and you can clearly see life. Like you can see like pretty much all your children with just your own eyes, but also seeing other lives outside of it. like you can like pretty much see multiple universes. Talking about multiple. Like not, I believe that we are not the only ones who like lives in this universe. And I believe we're not the only universe in the vastness of space. And think about a spiritual being who can see like just billions of universes at once. I'm talking about just a lot, and you can just see all of them with no problem. It sounds powerful, but I tell you, pretty much having the eyes to see everything, that is amazing. And also, think of the spiritual being, like, tell you, like, whose power just has no limits. And think of, like, pretty much every time he speaks a word, it's just extremely powerful. Like, he can just say one word and pretty much he can make a light that literally just straight up blinds you with just one word. Because nobody can outsmart the living God in the heavens. I'm telling you, bro. If you dare to ever challenge God to like a knowledge contest, trust me, all of us humans are fools to even tempt them or even think about that. Whoever thinks that they can beat God in like a knowledge contest, that makes all of us a fool. Whoever thinks that we can beat God, telling you, that makes all of us a fool. Telling you, pretty much. Us humans, we can still die. It is possible for man to die once. Remember, we only have one soul, one spirit, and one body. There is no second chance. When man dies, comes judgment. So I'm telling you, bro, please just stop killing. Stop disrespecting. I'm telling you, just stop hurting each other. Like, stop doing darkness. It's not worth it. Darkness is worthless. Like, doing like these sexual stuff that you see women do, that is lust. And that stuff corrupts the soul. I talking about like the women's like you see at the beach. Do you even think that is even healthy? And remember, bro, I'm telling you, man, I'm telling you, stop with trying to look at her like vagina or her boobs as like a toy or something. And I believe that y'all gonna say is, oh, you were just being weird. Like, you gotta be like some type of weirdo or something to like say that. Think of a bigger perspective. The body is the temple of the Holy Spirit. What are temples? Objects. I'm telling you, look at your girl. Just look at your girl. Remove her flesh. She is just a spirit and soul inside of flesh. The reason why her flesh is alive is because it's powered by her spirit and soul. The flesh is dead without the spirit. So, pretty much, you are just looking at something that is just straight up dead. Bro, I'm telling you, all a woman's vagina is, it's just a tool. Not something that you should just desire or just like joke about too much. Or don't joke about it at all, because all you're doing is just looking at something as a tool. You wouldn't even like be playing with tools. You would be using it wisely. And also think of a bigger level. These women are using also their beauty to make money, something that God gave them. And instead of being thankful to God that God made them like that, these women are just blinded by pride and just think, oh, they're so beautiful. Like, I can just pretty much just look at myself all day, flirt with men all day. Tell you, like, that is manipulation, attention seeking. And instead of being thankful for your beauty, you just think, oh, because you're like made like this, that you can do whatever you want. And tell you, I believe that God would be looking at them with one grief and anger and hatred towards their pride and the lust. God does not hate the soul, the body, or the spirit itself. God hates the destructive nature behind those actions. That's what God hates. He hates the darkness and the destructive nature behind the actions. Tell you pretty much. I'm telling you, go like try to find like a quiet place and just try to be open minded. I'm talking about open minded. Even experience life. And now try to think bigger scales. I'm telling you, bigger scales of this. And use common sense. And think of reasons, purposes, and understand all of this too. And even understand the words, because words matter a lot too. tell you, before you like actually just say all of these like elves s or the cuss words, understand the meaning behind it before you just keep saying it. And another thing to also think about when it comes about God is pretty much is gonna be a hard one, but pretty much he is the ones that you should respect the most. A lot of people may say, "Oh, God is a forgiving God. God, like, would just forgive me after I just like sin." And I'm telling you, when it comes to all that, bro, God is not fooled by our actions. So you literally seeing a God who is literally just wise. He is not fooled by your actions. Look at that word, fool. He is not fool. Anything we do in life, any like decisions we make, any choices we make, he understands everything behind it. Think of like have a knowledge so great that you just completely understand everything in like just one go. Now, think about multiple universes. Think about having the power to feel everything at once. Still having that infinite power in yourself. You are a spiritual being who is just humble, and you are just the same before and after. And you are completely unbiased. Think of like that spiritual power, knowledge. Like, if you have that type of power, like you can just see everything, and you can like just think of everything at once, like multitasking, like with everything, like billions, and literally just think about pretty much. Like, here's a perspective. Think of like pretty much yourself as like the like one with the power. Look, what I want you to do is like if you have some like pretty much I guess bottles or anything to wrap a string around, like do that. Grab some string, attach yourself to them. I'm talking about like attach, wrap the string around yourself, and then grab like do multiple of them. Like let's say like just do like I would say like 4 or 5 of them from different directions, and then pretty much look at the like bottles and like wrap the on strings around them. And now think of the strings is pretty much God's power to you. And now imagine that they are invisible. I talk about the on strings are invisible, and you gave the bottles the power of free will. That means they can move by themselves. And now, think of like pretty much you have like that perfect knowledge and action every time. And if the bottle is moving this direction, you know their choices ahead before you even like just looked at it. And you know your own child's heart and what they really want before they even had that chance to look at it. And then you imagine having all that knowledge to just look at those all 5 bottles at once or 4 wherever. Imagine like just talking to them at the same time. A spiritual being who can just talk to like over like trillions of humans, animals. Not like times that by how many ever. You have no limits on who you can talk to. That is God. You have no limits on who you can talk to. And as I'm talking, God understands what I'm doing. Before I even like told y'all, God is not fool what I'm doing as I'm talking to y'all. God knows I'm trying to explain about him. God is not a fool. God understands what I'm trying to do. So I'm telling you, everybody, whoever atheists or non-believers, tell you, God is out there. And you don't have to see his face to know he exists. He already exists. God already exists. God is just completely unformed. That is straight up a powerful being that just has no limits. But a lot of these people are just blinded and their minds have been corrupted by the devil himself. Tell you, these evil works are the works of the devil. Some people might reply, "Oh, that's just who they are. That's just who I am." Counter that free will. You chose to do that. You could have just pretty much just done good. Or like if a woman slaps you, talking about if a woman slaps you and you're a man, and pretty much you know that you ain't supposed to hit a woman. But if the woman like said, "You made me do it," you didn't make her like pretty much slap. She chose to slap. She could have just easily walked away with wisdom if she is actually angry. You see that? They want to blame on you. She can easily just walk away. Like, let's say you was in an argument and her blood is starting to boil over. She can just say, I dropped the argument. I'm going to walk away and calm down. See, like that. But she chose to slap you. That's on her. Or she could easily just do something that calms her blood down. Like she can just drink a cup of water. Or like pretty much go and watch TV and tell her husband, I don't feel like talking right now. I'm too frustrated. The husband respects. The husband will say, okay, I'll let you calm down. But yeah, then you just go to like a quiet place. Look at nature, or you can look inside your house and try to think of that purpose and understanding. Like, put the effort into it. I'm telling you, good is gonna feel discomfort because we did not put the effort into it. Think of trying to build a muscle. When you lift weights, you're gonna feel that pain, discomfort, because you did not put the effort into it. So things are gonna be very uncomfortable before they get better. That that time that I started reading the Bible, I'm telling you, I was not feeling it. Then after putting the time and effort into it, it became more easy understanding and growing closer to God. Tell you, put the effort into it. If you just straight up just lay down or not put the effort into it, all you're doing is hurting yourself. Here's an example. Let's say you're a farmer who's been working constant for like 8 years. And you decide to take a long break from farming. Like you decide just to lay down, like let's say just on your back for like let's say like 1 month without going outside. And then soon as you go outside, you just feel achy. You just feel that really strong discomfort because the very energy that you had worn down by laziness and lack of movement and mobility. There's your answer, pretty much. And that's why, pretty much. After you, pretty much, being like, pretty much sitting in that lack of something, it just starts to dim the light. Just think of a light bulb. 100%. And now, to keep it up, you gotta keep, like, winding the thing to keep the energy flowing. And but it gets harder when you get to the mass one. Like, pretty much. And you try to leave it alone for a while and come back, you will see that it dimmed. And then when you try to like pretty much put the effort back into it, as you like pretty much keep putting the effort into it, it becomes harder. Still tell you, for certain things, put effort into things. And your brain will remember it. But as always, I hope y'all can understand this. And as always, God loves you. And hope y'all have a wonderful day in His name. Peace out.